everyone, myself Hena Shah, Assistant Professor at LG Institutes of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to discuss a most important chapter of Mathematics 2, that is Laplace transform, right? So firstly, let us begin with its definition. So if f of t is a function of t defined for all t greater than equal to 0, then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt is defined as Laplace transform of f of t, provided that this integral should exist and the Laplace transform is denoted by Laplace of f of t. So in general we can say that Laplace of f of t is equals to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt, right? So this is the definition of Laplace transform, and the integral, that is this, is a function of s, hence it is denoted by f of s or f bar of s or phi of s. We will always use this notation, right? So in short, Laplace of f of t is denoted by f of s, and it is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. So we will use this formula to derive other basic general formulas of Laplace transform. Okay, so now next let us discuss the sufficient conditions for existence of Laplace transform. So when the Laplace transform exists, so the first condition is that the function should be piecewise continuous. Now what is the meaning of piecewise continuous function? That is, it should be continuous in every subinterval, and f of t must have finite limit at endpoints of each subintervals, right? And the next condition is f of t must be of exponential order, that is limit t tends to infinity e raised to minus alpha t f of t is equals to a finite number, right? That means this limit should exist, right? So now let us see few examples where Laplace transform does not exist. So if you take Laplace of tan t, right? Now you know that this tan t is undefined, therefore it is not piecewise continuous, hence we cannot find Laplace transform of tan t. Similarly, we cannot find Laplace of sec t, cosec t, cot t. Hence from this we can see that we can find Laplace transform of only two trigonometric function, that is sine and cos, right? And the next is Laplace of e raised to t square does not exist, because if you find this limit, it will not be a finite number. Hence, we cannot find the Laplace of e raised to t square, right? Now, let us study one basic property of Laplace transform, right? And that is linearity. So if Laplace of f1 of t is equals to f1 of s, and the Laplace of second function, that is f2 of t, is equals to f2 of s, then what we can say, Laplace of a f1t plus b f2t, that is equals to a f1 of s plus b f2 of s, where a and b are constant. That is what we are doing, we are splitting this Laplace. We are taking a common and then we'll find Laplace of first, take b common and find Laplace of the second function, right? So let us prove this property. Now always when we need to prove something, we will use the definition, that is Laplace of f of t, that is equals to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Now we want to find the Laplace of this, right? So in place of f of t, we will put a f1t plus b f2t dt. Okay, so now what we will do is we will split this integral. So and take out this a and b common. So we will write it as a times integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f1t dt plus b times integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f2t dt. Now we know that Laplace of f of t is also denoted as f of s. So here we can denote this as what? f1 of s, right? So what we'll write, a times f1 of s plus b times, we will denote this as f2 of s. So this will be b times f2 of s. Hence we have proved our required property, right? So next let us find Laplace transform of few elementary functions, right? So there are in all 8 formulas that you have to remember. So firstly we have to find the Laplace of 1, that is when our function is 1. So let us begin with the definition. Always use the definition to find the Laplace transform of the following properties. So we know Laplace of f of t, that is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Fine. So now our f of t is 1. So put that. So what will remain? Integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st. Here if we put 1, only minus st will remain and dt. Now integrate. We know integration of e raised to minus st will be e raised to minus st upon minus s. Why? Because we are integrating with respect to t. Put the limit 0 to infinity. Now substitute the upper limit and the lower limit. So it will be e raised to minus infinity upon minus s. Put minus. Now put the lower limit. So e raised to 0 upon again minus s. Right? So now we know e raised to minus infinity will be equals to what? 0, right? So this will go to 0, minus minus plus. So plus e raised to 0 is 1. So we will get answer as finally 1 upon s. In short, Laplace of 1 will be equals to what? 1 upon s. This formula you have to remember, right? Now let us go to the next function, that is f of t is equals to t raised to n. That is, we have to find the Laplace of t raised to n. Again write our definition, that is Laplace of f of t. That will be integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Fine. So now in place of f of t, just replace it by t raised to n. Done. Now in order to integrate this, what we will do firstly is, suppose your st that will be equals to x, right? So if we suppose it, we have to do the derivative also. So s dt will be equals to dx. So finally our dt will be dx upon s. Right? Now also we have to change the limits. So if the limit of t is 0, right, the limit of x will be 0. If the limit of t is infinity, the limit of x is also infinity, right? And from this we can say that our t is equals to what? X upon s. So now let us substitute all these 4 things. So finally our Laplace of t raised to n will be equals to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x. Now your t is x upon s. So x upon s whole raised to n, and dt is what? Dx upon s. Now this s raised to n and s, we can take out it common as 1 upon s raised to n plus 1, 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to n dx. Now we all know the formula of gamma function, that is gamma n is equals to 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to n minus 1 dx. So your gamma n plus 1 will be what? Integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x, x raised to n dx. So we can substitute in place of this gamma n plus 1. So your Laplace of t raised to n is finally gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. Now if n belongs to n, right? If n belongs to n, then we can write gamma n plus 1 as what? N factorial upon s raised to n plus 1. Right? Whenever n belongs to n, then only you can write it as n factorial upon s raised to n plus 1. Right? So you have to remember this formula. Okay, so the next is, we have to find Laplace of f of t is equals to e raised to at. Again use the definition, that is Laplace of f of t, that is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Fine. So in place of f of t, again put e raised to at, right? Now we can simplify this and write it as e raised to minus s minus a dt, right? Now just integrate. So you will get e raised to minus s minus a upon minus s minus a, and your limits are 0 to infinity, right? Now suppose if you put the limits, what you will get? Firstly take out this minus 1 upon s minus a outside. Now if you put infinity, you will get e raised to minus infinity minus, you will get what? E raised to 0. Done? Now e raised to minus infinity, we all know it is 0. This will be equals to 1. Simplify, so final answer will be 1 upon s minus a. So finally Laplace of e raised to at is what? 1 upon s minus a, which you have to remember, right? So now let us move on to the next proof. That is, we have to find the Laplace of f of t, that will be equals to e raised to minus at. Now this is similar to our previous proof, right? You have to use the definition and prove it by yourself, and I am providing you the answer. The Laplace of e raised to minus at will be equals to 1 upon s plus a, which you can solve it similarly by using the definition, right? So next, let us prove the Laplace of f of t is equals to sin et. Again write your definition, that is Laplace of f of t, that is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Now your f of t is what? Sin et. So integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st sin et dt. Right? Now we know our formula, that is integration e raised to ax sin bx dx will be equals to e raised to ax upon a square plus b square a sin bx minus b cos bx, right? So this is the formula. Now you compare these two, fine. So from this we can say that a is minus s and our b is a. Substitute these two things in this formula. So what you will get? E raised to minus st upon s square plus a square. Now in place of a, write minus s. So minus s sin at minus, now in this put in place of dA, so you will get minus a cos at, right? And your limits are 0 to infinity. Now suppose again if we put infinity, what we will get? E raised to minus infinity, right? And that is 0. And now put the lower limit. So if you put the lower limit, you will get e raised to 0 upon s square plus a square. Now we know sin 0 will be equals to what? 0. And cos 0 is 1. So only minus a will remain. Fine. Now simplify this. This will be 0. On simplifying, you will get Laplace of sin at, that will be equals to a upon s square plus a square. So you have to remember this formula, right? Now similarly we will prove that Laplace of f of t, that will be equals to cos at. So in order to prove this, firstly we will use this formula, that is integration e raised to ax cos bx, that will be e raised to ax upon a square plus b square a cos bx plus b sin bx. So this is our integral formula that we have to use, right? And next, firstly you have to apply the definition, use this formula and prove that Laplace of cos at, that will be equals to s upon s square plus a square. You have to remember all these formulas, fine? So now let us prove that Laplace of f of t, that is equals to cos h at. So let us prove this as s upon s square minus a square. Now in order to find this Laplace transform, we will use the formula of cos h at. We know it will be equals to what? E raised to at plus e raised to minus at upon 2. Fine. So now let us apply Laplace. So Laplace of cos h at will be equals to Laplace of e raised to at plus e raised to minus at upon 2. Fine. Now use the linearity property, so we can write this as 1 upon 2 times Laplace of e raised to at plus Laplace of e raised to minus at. Fine. Now let us put the formula of Laplace of e raised to at, that will be equals to what? 1 upon s minus a, right? Here this will be equals to 1 upon s plus a. Now you have to take the LCM and simplify it. So you will get 1 upon 2 times s plus a plus s minus a upon s square minus a square. This a will get cancelled out, and from this we will get 2s. Again this 2 will get cancelled out. So finally Laplace of cos hat will be equals to s upon s square minus a square, and this is our desired answer. You can see that, right? So in this we can also apply the definition also, right? So now let us find the Laplace transform of sin hat. So in this again we will use the formula of sin hat, that is what? E raised to at minus e raised to minus at upon 2. Use the linearity property, put the formulas of e raised to at, e raised to minus at, simplify. So you will get Laplace of sin hat as a upon s square minus a square, right? So this is our formula to find the Laplace of sin hat. Also you can use the definition and integration also, right? So now in general we have proved total 8 formulas, that is Laplace of 1, that is 1 upon s, Laplace of e raised to at, that is 1 upon s minus a, Laplace of e raised to minus at, that is 1 upon s plus a, Laplace of sin at, that will be a upon s square plus a square, Laplace of cos at will be s upon s square plus a square. Similarly, sin hat, Laplace of sin hat will be a upon s square minus a square. Laplace of cos hat will be what? S upon s square minus a square. And finally, Laplace of t raised to n, that will be equals to, this is n, gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. And when n belongs to n, it will be equals to n factorial upon s raised to n plus 1. So you have to remember all these formulas and the definition to solve the examples. And from this you can see that whenever you have sine, you will have a in the numerator, right? And whenever you have cos, you will have s in the numerator. So whenever you will be having sine, you will be having a, right? And whenever you have cos, you will have s. So this is the way to remember all these 4 formulas, right? So now let us start with the examples. So we have to find the Laplace transform of the given f of t, that is 0 and sin t, and the limits are 0 to pi and t greater than pi. So whenever you are given your function in parts, we cannot use the formulas directly. We always have to apply the definition, which is Laplace of f of t, that is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Now if we split into 2 parts, we will have 0 to pi e raised to minus st. But there our function is what? 0, right? Now pi to infinity e raised to minus st. Here your function is what? Sin t. Fine. So this is gone because it is 0. Now just use the formula that we have used previously, that is of e raised to ax sin bx, which is equals to e raised to ax upon a square plus b square, a sin bx minus b cos bx. So using this we can simplify this. So what you will get it as e raised to minus st upon s square plus 1, because your a is minus s and b is 1, right? Again put in this also. So you will get minus s sin t minus cos t. Write your limits, they are pi to infinity. Fine. So now if you put infinity, e raised to minus infinity will be 0. Now let us put our lower limit, that is pi. So you will get e raised to minus s pi upon s square plus 1. Now the value of sin pi is what? 0. And the value of cos pi is minus 1. So minus minus plus. So here you will write it as minus of minus 1. So final answer of the given function is minus e raised to minus s pi upon s square plus 1. Right? So this is our desired answer. So now let us move on to our next example. So we have to find Laplace of sine 2t into sine 3t. In this we can use our formulas directly, that is the given 8 formulas, right? Firstly what we will do is we will multiply and divide by 2. So here you are getting 2ss and you know the formula, it will be minus c plus c. So we can write this as 1 upon 2 times Laplace of minus cos. Add these two. So you will get cos 5t plus what? Cos t. Here you have to subtract 2t minus 3t. So you will get minus t. But cos is an even function, so we will write it as cos t. Now apply our linearity property. So 1 upon 2 times you will get minus Laplace of cos 5t plus Laplace of what? Cos t. Now we know the formula. Laplace of cos et will be what? S upon s square plus a square. So just use the formula and you will get your answer as minus s upon s square plus 25 plus s upon s square plus 1. Right? So this is our required answer of the Laplace transform. So next example is we have to find the Laplace transform of 4t square plus e raised to 2t. So let us write Laplace of 4t square plus e raised to 2t as using the linearity property 4 times Laplace of t square plus Laplace of e raised to 2t. Done? So now use the formulas and they are Laplace of t raised to n, that will be n factorial upon s raised to n plus 1, right? Whenever n belongs to n, here you can see it is a natural number only. And Laplace of e raised to at, that is what? 1 upon s minus a. Use these two formulas and you will get the answer, right? So it will be 4 into 2 factorial upon s cube plus 1 upon s minus 2. Simplify this. So finally you will get your answer 8. 8 upon s cube plus 1 upon s minus 2. So this is our required answer. Okay. So now let us begin our next example. That is we have to find Laplace transform of sine root t. Right. So in this we have to use Maclaurin series. Very important example. Now we know that the Maclaurin series of sin x, Maclaurin series of sin x will be equals to what? X minus x cube upon 3 factorial plus x raised to 5 upon 5 factorial and so on. Fine. So this is the Maclaurin series of sin x. This we have studied already in our semester 1. So now let us write the Maclaurin series of sine root t. So in place of x you have to put square root of t, that is t raised to half. So let us write. So it will be t raised to half minus t raised to 3 by 2 upon 3 factorial plus t raised to 5 by 2 upon 5 factorial and so on. Now let us apply the Laplace transform. So Laplace of sine square root t will be Laplace of t raised to half. Apply the linearity property 1 upon 6. 3 factorial is what? 6. Laplace of t raised to 3 by 2, right? Plus 1 upon 120. Laplace of t raised to 5 by 2 and so on, right? Now we know that Laplace of t raised to half will be what? Use this formula, that is Laplace of t raised to n, that is gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. Also you can apply this formula, that is n gamma n upon s raised to n plus 1. Because we have half, we will use this formula. So we can write it as half gamma half, right, upon s raised to 3 by 2. Done. Now we can write this as 1 upon 6 times 3 by 2 gamma 3 by 2 upon what? S raised to 5 by 2. Similarly 1 upon 20 times we can write this as 5 by 2 into gamma 5 by 2 upon s raised to 7 by 2 and so on, right? So now we can simplify this as what? Half gamma half, right? we can simplify this as 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 into gamma half. So you can take out gamma half common and also 1 by 2 common and simplify and find our required answer. I am giving the simplification on you, right? And we also know that the value of gamma half, what will be it? That will be square root pi. So you have to just put this value and simplify, right? So I hope you have understood throughout the session. Thank you for watching.